Welcome back, fiber friends, to another episode of the Wool to Gold podcast. Today we're going to be talking about all sorts of things, mostly things that I like. But I do have some packages, some fun things to talk about. One thing that we're specifically going to talk about today is if you ever had the weird question and you were like, wonder what Brian smells like. Wet wool, because I wash wool all the time and it's constantly drying in my personal space. But also actually, not this one. We'll talk about this one later. These scents are what I live by. I'm super picky when it comes to perfume. I've been a big follower of Arabelle Siccardi since before their BuzzFeed days. I mean, I think Arabelle is just a really interesting fashion person in general. I like their nose. And yeah, this is my scent that I live by. This is Terre by Hermes. It smells like a citrus orchard after it's rained. It's got some notes of petrichor on the bottom. It's a little woodsy, and it's very citrus forward, which I'm a big fan of. Very orange citrus though, not grapefruit citrus or like pomelo. These are my other three go-to scents, although I use these a lot less. I've had these for an equal amount of time as I've had that big bottle. And we'll go by least to most used. So my least used is By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. Definitely top notes of like a toasted marshmallow, a little bit of a soft spice, but not enough, at least in my opinion, for it to be all that interesting. It's like a dirty vanilla. And then once it's really been worn throughout the day, it does give a very like, I've been spending the day or perhaps like the past 2 days kind of by the fire or camping or something like that. I do like the end notes of this, which is why I like it. It's just, I'm not like a crazy vanilla person. It's just not where my heart lies. Next up is Jazz Club. I really like Jazz Club. It's like the sophisticated older brother of By the Fireplace. It's much more interesting. It's much more aromatic and spicy and just sophisticated in general. It does have a little bit of like a powdery vanilla at the very, very end of it. But just in a way that kind of reminds you of like your cool older sister. Then my favorite and by far the most controversial of the trio, if I'm being honest with you, because people either love this scent on me or especially like straight men, they hate this. So if you're looking for an anti-straight man cologne, this might be your option. It's Autumn Vibes by Maison Margiela. I love this scent. This scent is like everything that I actually want in like a foresty, woody, green scent. So it's a little mossy, but not overpoweringly so. I hate when something says that it's like mossy or greeny, but then it's just like, it's really bright and fresh in like a linen way, because those things don't read the same for me, at least just me personally. And again, it's very fresh and alive, but also dirty, like an autumn day, like a crisp autumn day, and the leaves are kind of fermenting a little bit. I just think it's a nice, sophisticated cologne. So obviously I like the scent that I have, but I am working my way through them, and I would like to make some new selections for the new bottles that I add to my collection. And so I've been searching around recently. The first thing that I did was I got marketed to, and I regret it, Boy Smells. I generally like Boy Smells work as like a perfumery, etc. Citrush was not it for me, and I think the reason is it's too accurate. I am afraid to tell you exactly what Citrush is supposed to be emulating, just because I have made 2 TikTok videos about this fragrance, and both of them got taken down almost immediately by TikTok. And in the second one, I really just alluded to it. I didn't even say what this is supposed to be emulating. It's very aldehyde forward, accurate. Very accurate to what it's trying to emulate. Pomelo as opposed to like an orange, which is where I think it went a little wrong for me. And it reminds me of your cool deadhead aunt's gay friend. That's what it smells like. He smokes Marlboro Reds. They're definitely, I personally am getting like a little like of a cigarette end note somewhere on here. It's not a bad scent. It's just not me. And I don't see myself ever using this amount of it. This was a blind buy that was a dud. I'm glad that I wasn't able to purchase like a larger size of this. And so I have this order from Lucky Scent. I have over 10 fragrances here that I am just gonna I'm gonna kind of blind review for you guys and go over. We're gonna find out which of these I like, but we're not gonna find that out quite yet. We're gonna save that for a little bit later because we have other mail to open, and I've been really, really excited to open it. And I also just want to show you guys some of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe in general. Some of them are thrifted pieces that I've had for years, some of them over a decade at this point, and some of them are newer editions. Some of them are like 5 to 6 years old. It's a nice mix. So I kind of want to show you guys like what I'm wearing, especially out of the context of like what I'm wearing this summer, what I'm wearing to Europe for 2 weeks, what I'm wearing for like a short amount of time. This is what I wear. These are Brian pieces. If you ever catch my lives, especially in the wintertime, you'll see me wearing the same rotation of sweaters over and over again because I love them and they're good sweaters. And I want to show them to you today. Okay, so I'm gonna preface opening this other package with, I feel like I've talked about this on here. I love a soft sculpture. I love like a soft figurine, etc. I feel like I talked about Goertz before on the channel, but my piece from her finally arrived. It's a pocket slug. It is perfection. I picked the blue color. I love blue and orange, and then the little pop of green. This is everything. This makes me so happy. I kind of want another pocket slug, but I also want another art piece from her. I kind of want a mushroom man really, really badly. I just think they're amazing. And so I kind of wanted to plug her because I don't know if this piece had arrived by the time that I was talking about Bridget Couvert. So yeah, Goertz, love her work. Another work slash artist, small maker that I really admire is the folks over at Hazel Village, which is it's like a stuffed animal brand out of Brooklyn. They're very thoughtfully made. Oh my gosh, the packaging is beautiful. And they also come with little handcrafted like clothes and outfits. You get to pick out the outfit and everything like that. They're very, very cute. Lovingly wrapped in this collectible handkerchief. I was really excited to actually get to see the handkerchief up in person. I got Arthur Lamb because I love, love, love sheep. So this is the little card that came with Arthur Lamb, Hazel Village, ethically handmade toys and clothing. I'll put their like socials on here. I just think I really want more of their pieces too. I have my eye set on, I think it's the toad, the frog. I think the frog is really, really cute too. Oh, there's like a little storybook and it tells you all about where everything came from and like the whole process, because you can get them hand embroidered and things like that. Oh, and they have the little list. So there's Ella Toad. Is it just Ella Toad? Ella Toad and Lewis Toad. So I got Arthur Lamb, but you can see there's lots of different animals. There are mice and boars and rabbits. I do like the rabbits. I'm very tempted by the rabbits. And there are dolls as well. They're little dolls. I think they're quite cute. But let's get to the part where we open our little Arthur Lamb, because I know that's what you guys are waiting for. You're like, Brian, we want to see the baby, please. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, and his clothing, his outfit that I picked out for him is even more darling than I thought it was going to be. Okay, first, the ears. Can we talk about the inside of the ears? Arthur Lamb, everybody. Normally when I get these types of soft sculptures, I give them to the teachers in my life because I think that they have a better use for them than myself. However, these two are remaining in my collection. Like, these are mine. I've been eyeing one of these guys for a while because I just think to the dressable aspect. So I got him these green little like forest overalls. And then I also got him this sort of window pane button-up shirt, and look, his little tail in the back. And all of these clothes are like, you can take them off and you can interchange them and you can get them other little outfits. But Arthur Lamb, we love him. I don't know where he's gonna live quite yet because my little slug has been living with my alpaca from Hidden Pastures up there. So we're gonna have to find him a little spot. So let's talk favorite pieces in the wardrobe. We're gonna do sweaters first because I just love my sweaters. I really cherish and value them. Maybe we'll reminisce about some garments that are long lost, unfortunately, because I just wore them absolutely to death. A really beautiful silk button-up comes to mind. I loved that shirt for like a good 6 years. But this was before I really knew how to take care of my clothing, and so that silk was just not not long for this world. This is my like go-to favorite sweater. I recently made a TikTok about it. It got a hole in it recently, which is why I'm spinning that cotton for Tour de Fleece, the Reese's cotton, because nothing else would be good enough to fix this little hole that it has down here. But it is just an old Nautica sweater. It has just held up to the years incredibly well. I thrifted this when I was 15, maybe younger, and I'm 26 now. So, and that's probably the oldest thing that I have here, at least that I know. Like, that's the oldest thing that I thrifted, because I thrifted it such a long time ago. A few years ago, I got this really beautiful, I thrifted this cashmere J. Crew sweater. I saw it, I noticed it because the label was a little bit different, and it's really beautiful. I really only wear it on holidays and things like that because it's 100% cashmere, and it's just like a little bit more delicate and things like that. A recent sweater that I got that needs to go right back into the hamper because I've worn it so much already, even though it is probably too warm outside to be wearing a sweater, but like it's another 100% cotton sweater. This one's from St. John's Bay. I don't really know anything about that brand. I just like the color, and I like that it was 100% cotton. I think it's beautiful, it's simple, it's straightforward. It's gonna make a great layering piece in the fall. I think this fall teal is really gonna have a moment. And then another sweater that I found that was a real win for me is this. It's a polo by Ralph Lauren, 100% cotton. It's a large navy blue sweater. Look at this sucker. It's beautiful. There's a theme with the sweaters, and I love a really heavyweight, like well-made 100% cotton sweater because I just think that you can wear it so many different times of year, especially here in New Jersey on the East Coast where I am. It just works. Another piece that I got a few years ago, as opposed to these guys I got at the bins like super recently, like less than a week ago probably, is this piece. It's Sport Ice by Iceberg. It's made in Italy. This is what the tag looks like. This piece I was drawn to initially because of the buttons. As you can see, the top button is like a different color. And that immediately like set something off in my brain. I was like, ooh, let's investigate. And it has this little, I don't like golf. I actually hate golf courses. They're a blight on the environment. But I do like this like weird grandpa core kind of embroidery on it, and it has pockets. It fits really well. It's sweatshirt material. It is definitely a little grandpa core, but I wear this all the time in the fall and like early spring. So let's talk, I mentioned button-ups before. Even though I don't have that silk button-up anymore, I do love a cotton button-up, and I have to say the J. Crew ones are definitely my go-to. I always thrift them. This is my favorite one and has been, I'd say, for the past like 3 years, but I've probably owned it a little bit longer than that. It's just, I don't know, it fits me perfectly. I like the stripes, I like the cool tones. I'm definitely somebody who personally I think I look better in cool tones. I say as I pull out this warm toned orange piece. I also, so when I was in Texas, I had this, it was short sleeve, not long sleeve, but it had these like the pearl snap buttons, you know, that Letterkenny kind of moment. And a lot of the shirts down in Texas had them in general. I love them. I miss that piece. I remember the day that I found out that it wasn't even a pen that exploded. To this day, I'm not sure where the stain came from. It looked like blood, but I didn't have blood on anything that like was in the washer. I don't know what happened, but it had this massive stain on it. And I just couldn't get it out, and so it had to go to the bin, and it was really sad. And ever since then, I've been looking for more of those like snap pearl button shirts, and I can't find them because I live in the Northeast, and I don't want to pay for them full price because a lot of them are very expensive for the more like popular brands like the Boot Barn and things like that. If you know, if you've been in a Boot Barn, oh, you can drop bills in a Boot Barn, let me tell you. But I really like this orange one that I found very recently that I thrifted. I just think it's gonna end up being a piece that I wear a lot in the fall. Again, that's like a very recent find. This is an older find. This is definitely one of those pieces that like I cherish and I don't wear as often as I probably should because I just like can't believe that I got it. to this day. So this is, if you know, you know, this is a Comme des Garçons piece. This is the only Comme des Garçons piece that I own. I used to own Comme des Garçons pants or jeans, I can't remember which it was, in high school, and I grew out of them, unfortunately. It was just like not meant to be. My body was, it was high school, my body was going through changes. This shirt though, it fits great, especially for a small, I have to say, especially because sometimes designers, this stuff runs a little small already. But this fits great, even with my current build, and it actually fits better than it used to with my current build, and I really, really like it. I just think it's nice, unique. It has a lot of details like Comme des Garçons pieces generally do, and I'm gonna unbutton it and show you, because to the naked eye, it would be not very noticeable, but if you're in person, you might be able to see the stitching on the outside for the pocket that's on the inside. And then this pocket is just really beautiful. It has a nice pleat in it. I'm gonna try to open up the pleat a little bit. I don't know. Classic Comme piece. Really stunning. And I really love it. And I've had it for a few years now. Then we have this beautiful t-shirt that I recently got. I feel like this falls in the same category. I'm not gonna pull it out. Maybe I'll pull it out just so you can see that bee t-shirt that I thrifted in Texas that I wear all the time, that I have no idea where it's from. This gives me the same vibe. I just love Lobster Crombie and Pinch, like obsessed, especially as somebody who like Abercrombie and Fitch was low-key just a traumatic experience as like a teenager in the like early 2000s. Awful. This piece is actually a handmade piece. So this, or a handcrafted piece, an artisan piece, I should say, from a small US-based sewist. This is, what is it? Davy Urban. This is an upcycled, it's a blanket, technically. And you can see it's got fruits. Each one is different. They're all one of a kind, because they're all from individual blankets with lots of different patterns. He does some like 90s throwback stuff, so if that's your vibe, there are definitely going to be a lot of pieces that appeal to you, but he does all sorts of interesting stuff. I really, really like the piece that I scooped up though. He doesn't always use like this bright blue, so I thought that was unique. And again, it's fruits. I'm a fruit. I've made that joke so many times, but I just think I really like this piece. It's perfect. Once again, the last of the pieces that I, am obsessed with, just wear or plan to wear regularly. We have a mix of things that are old and new. So starting off with the new, okay, so these jeans, I snatched these up at the bins recently, and I saw somebody else eyeing them, and I just moved quickly because I knew that I wanted them. These Gramici jeans, I will say, never would have paid full price for them. Ever. Wouldn't have even crossed my mind to buy a pair of jeans from this brand. I won't even go, I will admit, these are not even a very flattering pair of jeans on me, but these are the most comfortable pair of jeans ever. Like, you could not pry them from my cold, dead hands. They're just so comfortable and soft and just perfect immediately. And I definitely, even though they're secondhand, I'm pretty sure they're not super worn in yet. I'm pretty sure that's not why they're super soft. I think it's just really high quality cotton. These are fabulous. These are fantastic. And I have to say, I didn't know how I was going to feel about the belt, but I like the belt. I think it's a nice detail, I gotta say. 10 out of 10. Love these jeans. That's a new find. Something that is a little bit older that I've just gotten a lot of use out of, and this is actually the only item that I'm going to bring out today that, like, I bought these new, I will admit, because I have just never been able to find them, like, secondhand or anything like that. These are the women's REI, overalls. You can get them in a few different colors. I've always wanted a pair in white if I could get my hands on them, because I want to over dye them with whatever color I want. I haven't settled on what that color is, but I just think it would be fun. But yeah, they're the REI cooperative overalls. These overalls are great. The pockets, I love that the front pocket just has all of these different sections on it. I get a ton of use out of these, even though I did like have to buy them new. I got them on sale, so it wasn't as expensive, and I just feel like with the amount of wear that I've gotten out of them, it was worth the cost. You know, some things are worth buying new, and I have to say these are pretty worth it. The material's really sturdy. The knees are reinforced, like up on the thighs as well, which personally, as somebody who occasionally has to do some like barn sheep related work, that reinforcement is really, really helpful. Moving back to pieces that are newer, these are both from the bins. These 100% cotton vintage jeans. I'll have to show these off in another video where you can get like the full idea. Maybe I'll wear this fit tomorrow or something like that, and I'll show it off in one of the next videos that I'm posting, because I'm doing like a vlog, week in life in the artist style video this week as well. So catch that, look out for that. But this embroidered shirt, I feel like I don't even need to explain all that much, because it's really cool. It's a really cool shirt. It has hummingbirds on it, first off. Enough said. Hummingbirds. But I just love the way it looks like windows and window panes, and it looks like they're kind of flying in and out of them on the shirt. It's really beautiful and cool. And I just think you'd be hard pressed to find something like made like that in a super modern context. I just feel like the thought put into that was A+. And then I've had this bag for a while. This was another thrifted find, not vintage, just like I could not believe my eyes find. This bag, I'll put the details on the screen because my French is awful, and like my greatest fear is a French person criticizing my French, because I know my French isn't good. Please just leave me be. Also, if you know, you know. Don't come for me for actually using this bag and for it having a few marks on it, because I do use it as not an everyday bag. It's not my everyday bag. Right now I'm using it kind of as my temporary everyday bag while my new one is en route to me in the mail. I feel like I've mentioned it before on the channel, but I have a Miles Tano bag on the way. I'll insert a picture of it over here because I'm really, really excited about it. It's awesome. And it's also a piece that like I'm paying for new, but it's very worthwhile, at least in my opinion, because it's from a small designer that I have been really admiring for a while and have been wanting to give my money to. These are things that I love. These are things that I cherish in my life and I use really, really often. All right, and now back to the perfume section of this little video that we're doing. I'm gonna start with what, in my opinion, is probably gonna be like the least offensive or controversial scent to my nose. We're gonna start with Bonissimo. It's supposed to have some notes of bread in it and like croissant, and I've been really interested in bread notes ever since there was a girl on TikTok who was like, oh, I'm searching for a scent that reminds me of my dog when he was a puppy. This idea has sort of like stuck in my brain, and the idea of trying to find something that did smell like my dog when he was a puppy, especially like the top part of his head. If you know, you know. I don't know what kind of hormones they're pumping out of there. Something that smells fantastic, honestly. Not to be like a big weirdo. I feel like if you don't have a dog, then that might sound really, really weird to you. All right, I have to say I actually am surprisingly a little disappointed, just because it was described on certain accounts as being very croissant-y or buttery. I'm not saying that the pastry notes aren't there, because they are, but I do feel like this is more of a cocoa or coffee scent. If you want to smell like a barista, but you're not a barista, this is the scent for you, right? Because you know how like if you actually accidentally spill coffee on yourself, the smell is not great. But if you wanted the version of that did smell great and maybe developed into like a hazelnutty sort of vanilla base, I think this would probably develop into, then this is the scent for you. Next, we're gonna try the two scents that I got from the 1969. I have heard a lot about Female Christ. I think that's what the scent is called. And I'm going to be really transparent with you guys and share the fact that I did just get Chronic and Purple Haze. No further comment on that. I need to know. So I think I'm going to start with Chronic. The notes that I was promised on Chronic are woody, citrus, green, musky, herbal. We're getting sage, patchouli, cashmere wood. Let's see if we actually get a... Oh, this one's strong. Let's see if we actually get any hit of cannabis. Here's my feeling. If you want, like, a really sophisticated adult take on, like, a very, like, citrine sort of, terpene-y type of smell, I feel like maybe this might be your thing. I feel like you could, like, a sophisticated a sophisticated office lady or secretary who has like a Benjamin mixed in with her normal pens. I feel like that's who would wear that. I'm gonna see if Purple Haze hits the note that I kind of want to go for a little bit more. I have like as time goes on, we're gonna get to the muskier scents. Again, I feel like I'm trying to start with the more approachable scents that I got. Let's see. Oh, already this is what I was looking for. Oh, whoo, Purple Haze. Wow, that smells like a really good head shop. Wow, I adore that. That's impressive. Okay, so this scent smells like, oh, the incense. It does have a little bit more of that like cannabis base. I feel like this is more accurate. Definitely towards like indica leaning, as the name would suggest. The patchouli is definitely coming through. The cypress for sure. The bergamot definitely. This I love. This gets a high rating in my book. I feel like this tells a story and it's very layered. And again, it's not like overtly in your face, you know, musky cannabis, but it's interesting. I really like this. There's like a freshness to it too, but in that, like, if you've ever been in like a trucker's cab, like the little like the bunk in the back, or like a car that somebody uses a lot, that they smoke cigarettes but they're trying to make their car still smell as nice as possible. Okay, so the last scent I'm gonna do for now, and we'll get back to this, don't worry, I'll finish the video, is Jorum Studios Goertz. I don't know what I thought it was gonna smell like, but I guess a Goertz smells kind of coconutty. And so this is definitely going to be a fruitier scent. There is a geranium note in here, which I am a little bit worried about. Okay, so this smells like a seasonal bartender down at the beach. I am getting the coconut, sort of like a sunscreeny coconut, but the top note almost to me is reading like there are florals, but they're aldehyde-y and alcohol-y in a way that reminds me of like a high-end bar, and specifically like if you've ever seen anything like Marigold Bitters or something like that, that's what it's reminding me of. I like it. I'm not usually crazy about floral scents, but it reminds me, it's beachy, and it's a little clean. I am getting kind of like a laundry powderiness, and I don't know how much I could tolerate wearing this. I'm gonna test drive that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see how that develops on me, because it's either gonna develop really well, or it's gonna drive me crazy like the Citrush did. So we're back, fiber friends, with a fresh nose, an open wheel. I am just taking all of the finished yarn off of the bobbins. One bobbin down. I just have to take 2 more off. So we're gonna start with the Zoologist scents today because I have 2 from them. I have Kivet and Musk Deer. I think I'm gonna start with Kivet because it's the more controversial one. It's the one that I'm kind of hoping I'm going to like the most. Oh, why wouldn't somebody like that? Oh, I love that. I'm getting incense and citrus is what's hitting me first, and like a nice like orange citrus, not a pomelo or grapefruit. Yeah, and like the incense notes, like in like a witchy shop. I like that. I don't know how that would develop, but I bet delicious on me. See this? There's no doubt. Like this is like no notes. That's fantastic. That's definitely at the top of the list. All right, let's see if Musk Deer lives up. I didn't even need to look at my notes for Kivit. But I guess amber, animalistic, yellow floral. See, I didn't catch any of the florals yet. It was definitely a little woody. Animalistic is always one of those terms that I'm like, but what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Because there's so many different, like, musky, dirty ways that you can smell, especially when it comes to perfume. Oh, see, I really like that too. The thing about, oh, musk deer. Okay, so musk deer, I'm getting a little bit more floral on this. Aldehydes, but in a really, like, soft way, in a really, like, romantic way. And something, patchouli? Patchouli? Let's find out. So warm spices, powder, iris, cardamom, rose, marshmallow, sandalwood. I don't necessarily see patchouli in the notes, and maybe I'm just smelling it by association, which, you know, is very common. Like, I associate a lot of these notes, I think, with that type of thing. But this is lovely as well. This is a little bit fruitier. A little bit, I'd say, a little bit more traditionally feminine, if you wanted, like, a more feminine version of Kivit. Because we did already do Goertz, and I really liked Goertz. The more I have been smelling it, the more I've been really enjoying the way that it develops. It's kind of, I have to say, the longevity it's had in my room. Mind you, I didn't apply any of these, so it's just like the remnants of me opening these little sample bottles and the smell molecules hanging out in the room. Goertz, this morning, my room still smelled like the most sophisticated SPF I've ever smelled in my entire life. But let's see if we can round up the arborist sample that I got. So arborist is supposed to be inspired by the Scottish woodland, which is what kind of drew me to it in the first place. I love sheep, and if I could find some sort of smell, some sort of cologne or perfume that smelled a little bit sheepy, that would be my dream. That, like, lanolin smell, because if you've ever smelled sheep, they don't just smell like sheep, they smell layered. Here we go, arborist. There we go. I wanted to start with arborist just because I think it's going to be palatable and bright, and again, woody, but with, I'm hoping, like, I'm getting botanicals. Oily tools was also described. And when we move on to the Comme scents, I do have ones like Tar and Garage, full disclosure, so that's why we're saving the, like, really out there scents for later in the video. So if you're looking for something a little bit more approachable, this is your time. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to wear this. Sweet fruit, like, bright top note for sure. Woody, but in, like, the, like, car way. I'm getting like leather car. I'm getting a little bit of oil. Warm spice in kind of that, like, traditional cologne way. This is unique. I don't know if this is necessarily the day-to-day scent for me. However, I do like the story it's telling. I do think that for, like, the right person, this could be somebody's, like, go-to scent. It's just not mine. But next up, ooh, who looks interesting? Let's do Ponyboy, because Ponyboy has a top note of rhubarb, and I love rhubarb. I think it's delicious. Fruit scents can be really meh for me, and I learned something today. So something about fruit scents is that when fruit is underripe, the scent molecules that are associated with it are aldehyde based, and then when you have the like a more, like, fermented fruit smell, like I'm getting off of this, those rounder jammy smells, those are ketone scents. And so I don't know, I'm interested in getting to know fruit scents a little bit more. I like this. It's all right. It's all right. I really wanted to like this scent better. Again, this is Ponyboy by Jorum. I'm not so much getting the fig or the coriander or really marshmallow or cedar. The vetiver for sure. I like dirt, but this has kind of like a powdery, laundry, clean undertone to it that definitely kind of takes over for me. And then I think part of what's emphasizing that for me is the grapefruit. There's definitely a grapefruit note. And again, I used to think I liked grapefruit as a scent, but maybe that's just something that I need to steer clear of from now on, because I feel like I haven't responded well to it in the samples that I have been trying. I don't get beetroot or rhubarb. Somebody said that this, no, I have another sample later on. One of the Comme de Garcon samples is supposed to smell like beets being pulled from the earth. I'm really trying to figure out what about certain scents I'm sensitive about, because something I also learned is that there's no headache-free perfume or cologne. It's like some people, it's based on like overstimulation, and some people are just going to be overstimulated by scent, period. And some people are going to be overstimulated by certain scents versus others. And I'm trying to figure out what overstimulates me, and I think it's those I like a spicy perfume, but not if it's too peppery. I think that's what it is. So Spirit Cask is the one we're gonna do next. I'm really interested because it's got some malty notes, chamomile, pear, which is something that, like, I don't really know if I like or dislike pear, but I do think it's a really common note that I see talked about a lot, and so I kind of wanted to get something for that frame of reference. So let's see. I'm hoping this one smells kind of witchy. Oh, that's not at all what I expected, but I love that. The best rum cocoa scent I have ever put on my nose. Oh, that's delicious. It's a little lactic. It's a little aldehyde-y, but in a way that plays in so well with the malty and the cocoa notes. This is like probably my favorite gourmet, dare I say, food-based scent I've ever put my nose to. I'm getting a little of the leather and wood, and I guess a few tea notes. But to me, it really smells like if stout beer was a perfume, but in a really, really, really good way. In a really wearable way, too. That's what I'll say. I like this. It's definitely above Arborist, but below Purple Haze. I'll show you guys the final lineup at the end, too. I'll give you a pan of what that looks like. Okay. Phlegm, I'll put how it's spelled on the screen. The last Jorum Studios option. And I think the last one I'm going to smell for now, because I want to give my nose a break before we move on to some of these really interesting Comme de Garcon scents. We're going to see, this one claims to smell, okay, I've seen a lot of different reviews of it. People say it's very human. One of the scents that it says it's emulating is human skin. The Shoreline, carnival food, caviar, and just like human liquids in general. Effluvium is the general term used. I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting. I think it's gonna be sweet. I don't know what I'm hoping for. I'm like really disappointed. This doesn't smell very layered to me, and maybe I've heard a lot of people say you really need to wear it. And I'm gonna say, before I cast any judgments on this, I'm gonna wear it. This will be the one that I wear today. And we'll maybe hope that it doesn't interfere with later sample smells. Because I personally, like, I don't want to say, but I'm gonna say it so that maybe if I feel the same way later on, I can cut this in, and I can be like, you know, it was exactly what I feared. But to me, it really does just smell like a cheap old school Victoria's Secret perfume from like the 90s, or like the early 2000s. And I'm kind of hoping it develops on me. It just smells kind of cheap and not in a fun way. I guess it's definitely like a little minerally. I'll give it that. And like aldehyde. How many times can I say the word aldehyde in a video? Alright, so real talk. I am wearing a different outfit because I had to shower, really vigorously scrub my arms, completely change my outfit, and also put on a different scent. And I'm still catching whiffs of the occasional BO. I am gonna have to pass that on to somebody else. It just doesn't smell good on me. I felt embarrassed in. I had to run one errand today. I had to go for gardening supplies. If you know, you know. And I felt embarrassed because I'm a regular there, and they normally I smell really good. And I literally was talking to the girl. I was like, I tried the most rank ass cologne today because I just had to like tell them so that if I smelled rank that like I had an excuse. It was that bad. It was that bad. I'm really trying not to be dramatic. But that's a no for me. That's a no for me, bro. Anyway, I'm letting some yarn soak right now, and so I kind of wanted to go through a few more scents. We're gonna blind pull some Comme des Garcon scents and just like hope for the best here, because you never know. Okay, I blind pulled the one that I was actually most excited about that I was talking about before. It's Rouge? No, it's Rouge. I wrote down Rogue, but it's actually called Rouge. Beetroot, ginger, mint, incense, because it is Comme des Garcons, so a lot of these are gonna have an incense sort of note somewhere in there. So that's, if that's not your thing, I would say maybe steer clear of CdG unless you're doing like a lot of research before you blind buy a bottle, or some samples. Oh, see, that's delicious. That, you know, when you're hungover at the beach and you go to a juice shop and you walk in and somebody just ordered like a beetroot and ginger juice and the whole smell fills up the place. That's, oh God, I just threw it. I can't believe I just threw it. Whatever, I don't even care. That smells delicious. That reminds me of, I can't remember what CdG scent I had in high school. I did have like a small bottle of something, and this reminds me of this. It has some citrus. Oh, it's delicious. It's delightful. I would wear this. I would probably buy a whole bottle of this. This could be an everyday scent for me. I feel like that could theoretically replace the bottle that I'm working through right now. It's different enough from Terre that I feel like I'm switching it up, but it's still sophisticated and layered, and not just like, some citrus scents are just like, they get away with really being a very simple accord. And I'm not saying simple accords aren't great. They can be really, really interesting in their own right. But I just think a lot of them fall flat for me. So here we have Comme des Garcons Original. What is original? Is it is this the Eau de Fleur, or Eau d'Air 53? I'm not really sure. We're gonna put this one to the side because we're gonna use process of elimination to figure out what that one is. No, it's not the Eau d'Air 53 because I have that right here. And we're gonna do this. This one has, so it was launched in my birth year, which is part of the reason that I wanted to smell it. Flame, Desert, India Rubber, Oxygen, White Hot Bulb. I'm hoping that one of the notes in here is going to remind me of where I live. There are power lines, and I don't need anybody's comments on the safety of what I'm about to describe, but when it's raining or misting and I stand under the power lines, it smells like static electricity. And that's kind of, I'm hoping that somewhere in this bottle the static electricity note will be caught. I'm expecting it to be kind of like minerally and clay and dirt heavy, but we're gonna see. Oh, it does. Oh my gosh, it does. Oh, I like this. This is wearable while also having, some really sophisticated, like, yeah, flame and like dry staticky notes. Ooh, this is enchanting. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to wear this. I think the like ozone-y static smell that I'm getting is coming a little bit from like the rubber. But this is really interesting. And again, like I have to say, even if you're not super adventurous, this feels more wearable to me than some of the other really out there niche scents that I've seen before. We have some really out there ones in here. So again, we're just blind pulling. What do we have here? Okay, this one is the Monocle Yogi. So cypress, fresh cut grass. I love fresh cut grass. That smell does really resonate with me. Chamomile. It's supposed to emulate a morning walk in Tokyo. So I am expecting there to maybe be a little bit of that like rubber. The minute I opened it, it hit my nose. Oh, it smells like incense and cypress. Very alpine-y incense though. Not heavy, like not at all in the way that like the Kivit gives me sort of an incensey smell. Yeah, it reminds me of an art classroom, the way an art classroom smells, and fresh cut grass and pine sap. That's what I'm getting from Yogi. I look forward to wearing this. I can't wear cedar or sappy smells all the time, but there is a time and a place that I want to wear them, a lot of the times in the winter. So it might be a while before I actually figure out what bottle I'm going to buy, because I wear different scents for different occasions and different feelings. That's one of the reasons I like scent and perfume, because I feel like it can elevate and impact a moment in a similar way that like the right sophisticated cocktail can elevate a moment. Garage is one of the scents that I just pulled, and so I'm curious and I really want to smell it. We're really trucking through these Comme scents because I thought they were going to be a little bit more abrasive than they are. I personally think Comme des Garçons, and I'm wearing my CdG shirt. I didn't even make that connection until right this second. That's delightful. Stop. Oh my god, they just like don't miss. Oh gosh. Garage. This is like what I wanted By the Fire to be. You're getting very like fiery notes here. Aldehyde, romantic boyish, leather, vetiver, florals, and a little bit of cedar is supposed to be in here. And I'm definitely getting that like, oh, it's musky in like a really good way. Dirty in a really good way. That's probably the vetiver. I could see a little bit of floral, but I feel like the leather and the aldehydes are kind of covering them, but in a way that like tells a really nice story. I really like that. And again, I feel like this is wearable. I just feel like not all scents that are like, okay, it's gonna smell like tar, like you open it up and it smells like somebody's lying asphalt. That's not what I want. I do, though, appreciate a unique story. I have 5 samples left, and I think I'm just going to give my scent, my nose a break, because we've been doing them in groupings of 5. And I'll get back to you guys with the last 5 in a little bit. Alrighty, so let's do these last 6 scents, not 5, because I forgot about... So I actually did order this. It's just the Comme des Garçons original, like that's the name of the perfume. So we're gonna start with that one because I pulled that one out before. I did not write notes on this, so we're just gonna kind of blind sniff it. Smells like the perfume equivalent of a gin and tonic with some soft spice. Yeah, that's how I describe this. I'm not crazy about this. This is a little too, if I'm being honest, like traditionally masculine for me. Let's try another one that I'm not really sure about. Tar. Comme des Garçons synthetic tar. I don't know. I really liked Garage, so I don't know, but Tar's like, this is probably the weirdest scent that I picked up. Oh gosh. I'm just gonna pretend my hair is cooperating today. Ooh. Alright, so this smells like asphalt and tar, and not in the most offensive way possible, but this is a niche scent if I ever smelt one. I thought I got some on my hands. I'm really glad I didn't. Yeah, that's not super wearable, at least for me. That would give me a headache, but I know that there's a weirdo out there that like definitely would go crazy for that scent, and that's exactly what they're looking for. So all the power to you. Let's try Amazing Green, because that was one of the ones that I really thought I was going to like. Let's cleanse the palette here with something pleasant. Okay, I like it less than I thought I was going to. It's okay. I think it's the green pepper that's not playing super well with me. Palm tree and white musk is always like for me as well. I don't know about that. Again, that's going on the bottom tier, I have to say. Let's try Wonder Oud. That's delicious. That's really yummy. It's like a very bright, refreshing amber. Very wearable, in my opinion. Kind of sandalwoody, if I'm being honest. But Nomad Tea. I'm gonna have to wear this one. There's something in it that I like, and I think it's the green tea and the mint and the like sweeter notes. But there is the geranium. It doesn't jump out at me, so it's not overtly offensive. But I feel like I have to wear this to find out what my final ranking would be. It's not offensive, though. It's not offensive to the senses. And then the last one that I think I'm really gonna enjoy, if I'm being honest, is Incense Kyoto. Oh, yeah. That's just good. That's just good. I mean, it's incensey, exactly like you would expect. Earthy and dirty. I'm not really getting the coffee, but I want to see how it would develop. And again, it has that kind of like pine sappy incense, sort of a brighter incense smell. It's not super heavy like some incense scents are. So I'll show you guys the final lineup. Top of the list to bottom of the list: Kivet, Musk Deer, Purple Haze, Gorslin, Rouge, Yoyogi, Spirit Cast, Arborist, the Synthetic Garage by Comme des Garçons, Ponyboy, Wonder Oud, the Bonissimo, Chronic, and then on this lower level, these are like the bottom tier ones, Odeur 53, the Incense Kyoto, the Green Tea, Evergreen. I was really disappointed with Evergreen. I was very surprised. Tar, the original Jorum Phlegm. Who was surprised about that? And then absolutely last is Citrush by Boy Smells. This, I'm gonna give somebody this. Anyway, thanks so much, Fiber Friends, for watching this video about things that I like. We will get back to our regularly scheduled yarny content next week. But I hope you guys enjoyed something a little different. As always, I'll have some links down below to some of the businesses that I might have referenced in this video that you might want to patronize yourself. And I'll have a link to my shop and all of my socials. Don't forget to hit that follow button, and if you want to comment down below what kind of video you want to see next.